Hello, hello! Perfidious Pete here, back for a little more terror and tribulation in the darkened depths of Perfidious Manor as we get ready for a little more Darkest Dungeon. On our last trip into the dungeon, we went balls out crazy and took a little tour of the Warrens without bothering to bring along any sort of healer. It was a little nerve-wracking initially, I admit, but in the end, we wound up waltzing through the mission like Tony Dovolani on Monday night on ABC. We endured our trial by fire, and we strolled out the other side with more swagger than Jagger and more cool than Ja Rule. Unfortunately, of course, for us, Highwayman Fagin, our little friend, took a bit too much inspiration from his hero Ja Rule and neglected to pay the taxes on some of the gold that he picked up along the journey, and as you can see, as a result, has earned himself a short incarceration up at the old sanitarium. Now, reportedly Fagin is using his time in the Hooskow to practice his flow, and of course write some new lyrics for his debut album, which rumor has it is tentatively titled Madness Loves Company. Seems fitting, I suppose. And, we sincerely wish Fagin the best of his luck with his burgeoning rap career, and I hope that he can perhaps convince the nuns at the sanitarium that, his tour warrants an early parole. So, go for it, Fagin. Use your celebrity to your advantage. Take every extra piece you can get, son. As long as it gets you out of the Hooskow and back in action, I don't really care. But, in the meantime, Fagin's negotiations aside, we got a little adventuring to do, so let's say we get to it. Let's take a look and see what sort of missions are on the plate. Very quickly, just want to check our stagecoach. Alright, looks like we've already robbed it. We were looking for perhaps another Vestal. We still... one healer short, I feel. Would like one more. Oh, the Warrens has opened up. Fantastic. Do we have... we do not. I was very much hoping that we would have an opportunity... oh, we do. We can kill the Swine Prince. Excellent. So, with the Swine Prince available, he is the last of our rank 1 bosses remaining. The question is, do we have a team that has a better than average chance of taking him down? Oh, yes we do. We are actually almost perfectly positioned for this. We've got Karen Murphy, backed up by, of course, old Rick Deckard, with Dr. Strange on drums and Chrysania on keyboards. We've got a very good chance here. Let's make sure everybody's fully geared. Murphy's at 3. Yeah, you know what? A little bit of maintenance is going to be required before we send these guys up against the Swine Prince then. It's off to the guild. We want to make sure everyone is fully pipped up, and it's a good thing that we did. Very good indeed. So Bleed Out is going to be useful against the Swine Prince. We're going to want to try and stack as many bleeds on that big bastard as we can. Barbaric Yop not going to be so much useful. We should probably at least learn... you know what? No, we're not going to use it on this mission, so let's not bother. We've sort of got to economize. We're not exactly spoiled for gold here, so we're going to have to take it a little bit careful. We've got a bunch of abilities and also a bunch of weapons and armor upgrades to purchase here. So let's get Doc Strange sorted. Deckard, you're Deckard, buddy. You're toting some real funky gear, sir. That's all right. We'll try and make do with what Deckard's got. And I think Chrysania should be one of the few one. Nope, Chrysania needs bumping up too. All right then. So Bully. And we also have gear problems in that it's really Deckard has. There's no choice that. No, I went to the wrong spot. Yeah, let's go to the blacksmith here, guys. Blacksmith. They're not going to make you new weapons there at the skill shed. We've got to make sure everybody has at least level 2, and I would very much like to have level 3. I know Murphy has level 3. Probably not critical for Doctor Strange, and honestly, probably not critical for Chrysania either. I do want to have plenty of cash on hand or equipment, though. So I think we may have to go in a little bit under-geared on this one, but the opportunity is too perfect to not take a shot at the Swine Prince, so I'm going to go for it. Get Murphy, old Doc Strange, of course, going to be handling a wee bit of the healing and also some of the damage, and then we're going to have Rick Deckard and Chrysania bringing up the rear. Let's check everybody's trinkets while we're at it. Karen Murphy, of course, dyed in the wool, brutal murderer that she is always ready for battle. What are you toting here? Bonus scouting chance is actually pretty good for Deckard. Do we have any bounty hunter only items, perhaps, that might be useful? You know what, let's consolidate some of this. I don't really like having the down arrow that doesn't do anything. Are there any other items that might potentially be useful for you? That's Hellion only. Moonring is very good. If we were going lightless, I would absolutely take that. That's crap. Junk. Not necessarily junk, but I don't like the accuracy penalty. That's straight up trap. That is absolutely worthless, actually. Interesting, but no. Plus one's absolutely not going to lower our critical percent chance. Another protection stone, which, again, of questionable usefulness. No, no accuracy penalties. No accuracy penalties. Just straight up garbage. Yeah, so we have no better trinkets to actually put on him. That's awesome. Doctor Strange, do you even have trinkets? He does not. Is there anything useful we might give Doctor Strange? Just anything that doesn't have a crippling penalty, really, at this point would be a benefit for Doc Strange. It looks like everything has some sort of crippling penalty. I mean, we could give him a moon ring, but that gives him penalties in the light, and I'm going for a light run here. A swift cloak is actually not without merit for Doctor Strange. +1 speed, no. No, still no. Absolutely not. This is all garbage. So the swift cloak is really the only thing we might even consider, because accuracy for Doctor Strange, his accuracy is actually pretty good as it stands. We can probably get away with it. Having his speed up a little bit could theoretically be the difference between life and death. Chrysania, you don't have relics either. Well, we don't even have anything to give you. I'm sorry, I would like to give you relics. Now, we could actually loot relics. Let's... Ordinarily, I would not do this. In this situation, since we are going to fight the Swine Prince, I'm actually going to loot Madeline Usher's relics and give them to Chrysania. It's vital that Chrysania stay in tip-top shape, best of form. Also, we may also loot Randolph Carter. You don't have relics either. Never mind. I was going to say we'll loot yours for Doctor Strange, but yeah, it's a neat trick. You don't have any. No, we absolutely don't want that. We want our bounty hunter going first. So, Roderick, you can keep that piece of crap. All right then. So provision time. We want a lot of provisions here. 4 shovels, absolutely. We're taking 4. Food, tons of it. 2 full stacks, possibly more. Let's go with that for now. We will take a medicinal herb. We're going to take a key. No, probably don't need the holy water, actually. Let's grab some torches. I think that's probably good. 14 should be plenty. We're going to take 1 thing of anti-venom, which I don't normally take, and then, just for an extra abundance in case we get an unexpected extra food prompt, I'm going to take 4 more foods. That's 28 food. That is a ton for this level of mission. I feel very overprepared, but I would rather be overprepared and have a victory against the Swine Prince than go in underprepared and be meat and fodder for the trough. There would be nothing more ignominious than to have one of our troopers get eaten by the Swine Prince's little butt buddy Wilbur. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Wilbur. Some pig my ass. Charlotte can take that fucking web and stick it straight up her ass. The only thing Charlotte's weaving a web of is goddamn lies, because Charlotte was a fucking spider, and spiders are up to no good 100% of the time. Based on this layout, I'm going to gamble that our Swine Prince is either here or here, in which case we have dramatically over-prepared for this mission. Theoretically, we could be as few as 4 well, actually there's no theoretical about it. We are, at most, 4 rooms away from the Swine Prince. Assuming we choose the right direction initially, we almost can't not fail. Can't not fail. We almost can't fail. That's what I'm trying to get at. Extra food. I'm completely comfortable with going... Oh, man, not only extra food, a shitload of extra food. So that's the food situation solved forever. Like 38 food now. Seems like that should have brought the holy water. All right, so let's take a look here. We've got If It Bleeds, which has some interesting opportunities. Could straight up kill that slasher. Putting it on the drummer is not a terrible idea either. How much damage could that do? Could theoretically get a kill. I think it's worth it. We need to avoid stress if we can. That is fatal damage. Karen Murphy, once again, throwing kills with every single swing of her blade. I'm telling you, that Murphy does not fuck around. Alright then, so what do we want to have you do, Deckard? A stun on the chopper actually doesn't seem like the worst idea of all time. What's your hit? 6 to 11, that can't get a kill. Could get a kill on this guy. Let's go for the slasher. Huge crit from Deckard. That just leaves Johnny Chopper here is the only gentleman left to go. And he may not get a chance because we're going to try and stun him. He's pretty stun resistant, but yeah, okay. So 50%, didn't get lucky. That's fine. We can take it. A 3 damage cut and a bleed is not overwhelmingly dangerous. We're going to throw a vulnerability hex at this guy just to mark him so that Deckard can hack his head off next turn. Also get a little cheap damage out of that. Here comes some stress. Nope, Chrysania, ever nimble on the feet with the dodge. Murph. Not fatal damage, but probably... No, it is fatal damage. Never mind, that guy is dead. He just doesn't know it yet. What to do here? I think we go for the heal, and since Deckard's already bleeding, we'll go ahead and throw that at him. That's less than I was hoping. Little Divine Grace, then, to patch you back up to full. That just leaves the bleed, and I have to assume that Deckard is going to remove this man's head from his shoulders, Highlander style. Well, not quite. You're no Kurgan, Rick Deckard. You're no Kurgan. So let's just judge him. That'll get the kill. This guy's going to bleed to death. Go ahead and do that. Yep, work. And he has bled out. There we go. Alright. So the only thing we may have as far as problems going on this mission are the absolute lack of loot. We find the Swine Prince right away. Let's sacrifice a piece of food. That did nothing. What about treasure? Nope. Now let's just throw ourselves on there. Okay, that was horrific. Let's never ever do that again or speak of that again. 57 stress. Jesus, that's a lot. So Murphy is freaked right the shit out now. That's not good. Our premier killer is in a bit of a stress problem. We're going to burn a torch. We've got to keep our light level high now to try and keep Murphy from just freaking the shit out. Rick Deckard should be done bleeding. We vastly over-prepared in the shovel department, I feel. Probably that's going to be a long-term waste of cash. Cash we could have more appropriately used upgrading some of our troopers. Oh, we've got scrolls. Alright, so these got to get burned. This is an opportunity for somebody to get rid of a bad trait. And Karen Murphy has more than a few, but none that are really crippling. Let's take a look and see if anybody has one we would like to get rid of more. Not really for Deckard. What about you, Doctor Strange? No, you're just a bad gambler and a ruins phobe, which neither one of which is particularly problematic. Light sensitive is real shitty. Real shitty. But it's on a cleric, which means it's less problematic. You know, I think on this one we go for Mirth. Karen does have a bit of a cavalcade of troubles here, and we could theoretically maybe get some stress relief out of this as well. Nope. But Karen Murphy no longer thin-blooded, so whatever was on those scrolls, clearly the cure for anemia. Someone should maybe pick those up. You think, guys? Maybe take them with? I mean, there are a large number of people in the world afflicted with that particular ailment, and that could... Just gonna leave them on the floor, huh? Alright, that's cool. No, whatever, that's fine. If you want to just fucking leave them sitting there on the floor, who am I to gainsay you? You guys make good decisions. You know, you're seasoned adventurers. I'm just a nobody. I guess I'll have to trust your judgment. Some scouting here would be fantastic. Delightful. Alright, so there's our Swine Prince. We found him. I think what we'll do is head down, kill the Swine Prince, and assuming we emerge from that victorious and not just bloodied corpses, we'll probably circle back and try and pick up a little bit of additional treasure. We're really kind of hurting in the cash department. Now, we are going to have a fight right here, so go ahead and burn 2 torches, just maximize our chance to get the drop on these chumps. We did not. That's okay. I have a feeling we're probably still going to come out of this okay. Little facial stabbing for Randy. Not quite enough to get it done, but of course, it's always good to have Randy wet his dagger a bit, just to sort of prime the pump, as it were. We need... we don't... Yeah, you know what? We might as well. I'd rather have everybody in tip-top shape before we go mess with the big fat pig. And, you know, it's not like an insult or anything. The Swine Prince actually literally is a giant fat pig. Reasonable chance for a kill there. Same chance for a kill there, just with the lower... Well, if we're going to do that, let's... Yeah, he hasn't gone yet. We could get lucky. We didn't, but, you know, the possibility existed, so I feel that was a worthwhile swing. We should definitely kill one of them, though. Let's kill this guy. He's got more health.
Give them no quarter.
Alright, so Murph's getting munched. That's a stun attack. Oh, sorry, it's a blight attack, but Murph resisted. Randy, you want to maybe just stab that guy in the face, finish him off? Thank you. No stress relief for Murph, huh? No, that's cool. Actually, I'm glad that stress attack did not target Murphy. That could have been a very serious problem for us. Gonna go with the group heal here. Just make sure, again, everyone in tip-top shape going in. We want them as buff ready and killable as possible. Or unkillable, rather. That was probably not a great move. Give Murph a debuff right before we go in to fight the Swine Prince was not particularly smart. Who wants to check in the sack? Doc Strange, what's in there? 50 gold. Hoo-ha. Doctor Strange is gonna... Well, he's gonna be eating off the value menu tonight, because honestly, I got a feeling it's really all he's gonna be able to afford. I mean, it's not like he's going swanky and eating at the greatest of restaurants with the fucking 50 gold in his pocket. Shit'll be lucky if he doesn't get thrown out of the bar for not being able to buy a single beer. So here's our Swine Prince. He is marked. Alright, so Deckard is marked. Now, the Swine Prince, he operates in a strange fashion. His little buddy back here, Wilbur, you do not want to kill Wilbur. If you kill Wilbur, the Swine Prince flies into a foaming rage, and, well, it's just in general bad news. So we're going to go ahead and put a little bleed on old Princely there. Get things started. Also some pretty good damage to start things off. You also don't really want to attack Wilbur, per se, either. It's also sort of bad news. Let's go ahead and mark him. Normally we would have Doctor Strange throw that mark, and we actually may still have Doctor Strange throw that mark, as strange as it may sound. We're going to go for the Judgment. Really all we're looking to do, you just got to pile damage on the Swine Prince. Fast and furious, just as quick as you can get it laid on him, you got to lay it on. And we got the debuff. That is huge. Yep, that's going to happen. The critical, very, very unfortunate, actually. The fact that he took basically all his health in a single turn is a little bit of horseshit. We got to get a patch on him, though, because he's at death's door. So if you would, please heal him up. Normally that doesn't just straight up completely ruin your shit in a single blow. But, well, we got unlucky with a critical, so that's going to happen. If you could, a little more bleed, Karen. Thank you. Just keep stacking them on there. He's bleeding 6 already. Chrysania is going to get whacked. She only took 15, so, you know, surmountable. She could theoretically take another one of those if she had to. That's all you got, Deckard? Guy's marked and debuffed and he did 12 damage, huh? Alright, well, Deckard likely to be back on death's door, and honestly, sort of deserves it after that lackluster last swing. I'm not impressed with what you're bringing to the table, son. More bleeding from the Murph. Murphy's getting it done for us. We could heal here. Honestly, I think we're probably better off to heal someone other than Deckard, because Deckard is going to get hit so hard that no amount of healing we can throw at him is going to keep him up. So let's just go, you know what? Heal Chrysania instead. The heals, Doc Strange, are not looking fantastic, buddy. Really, not well done. So Deckard back at death's door, and the problem with him getting hit over and over and winding up on death's door again and again, he's really stressing out the rest of our team. Really stressing them out. Karen Murphy continues to pile on horrific damage. Deckard is coming back from death's door one more time. It does indeed wind on, sir. Well spoken, I suppose. He's no longer marked. Let's fix that. Doctor Strange, you mean you're not doing any kind of damage for us? At least you can give us the mark and a debuff. Bounty collection? Still, you know, 19 is okay. We actually... Oh, he's 1 point away from dead. So he goes into a cataclysmic flail. He's freaking out. He knows he's on death's door. This is his last gasp, and I have to say, it's not going to get it done. Oh, now you critical, Doctor Strange? Now you critical. Okay, sure, fine. Doctor Strange, goddamn drama queen. He waits until the very last moment, and then bam, throws out the huge critical so he can fucking hog all the glory. Typical Doctor Strange. What a glory hog. Seriously. Very disappointed in you, Doc. Could we get fewer of these charms that are absolutely... Well, actually, the accuracy stone's pretty good. Can't help but notice we're not getting a whole lot of gold, though. Doctor Strange, you're going to open the chest as the only person who is uninjured, so why don't you take care of that? We got a lot of good stuff. Alright, so how much food have we got here? A lot is the answer. Well, first off, we can get rid of this because it's shit. So you can go in the toilet because we don't want you at all. We do want the sniper's ring, though. It's real good. Yeah, that thing is fantastic. It's just excellent. We also, with very nice, we got 10 food there. Well, so long, anti-venom. We need emeralds. And then we should just be able to take the gold, right? Yep, okay, excellent. Alright, so I think probably a good spot to set camp then. I do want to explore a little bit more in this dungeon. We have so much food.
Circle in the dark.
It seems we definitely, first off, we want to get to stress relief because we packed on a lot of stress here. But we also need some cash. We spent quite a bit of resources. You know what? This is rejecting the gods here is completely worth it. Some of our troopers have very little stress. Murph had a ton, so we're just going to spread that out over the group a little bit. Deckard, what can you got? Scout ahead. That's pretty good. Oh, well, I think this is how we do it. Yeah, we're going to go Montel Jordan style. For a little bit of this is how we do it buff at the Murph, just to make her as killy as possible. We're also going to scout ahead. What else do we have that possibly has stress relief? He can get rid of his own stress by spreading it around. That's not necessarily fantastic. We're not really hurt enough to really need the healing. We could chant. Could also pray. I'm not sure who's religious among us. We could encourage... Let's encourage Deckard. And then we'll pray, and this should give everybody at least some slight amount of stress relief. Alright, so apparently none of these people are particularly religious. We should have known that Murphy would not be. That's... Should have sort of gone without saying, but, well, you know. She may not worship the triune god, but perhaps she's, you know, more into like some kind of Eastern sort of more philosophical spiritualism, Zoroastrianism, Buddhism, Hinduism, something along those lines. She could be, maybe she fights because she's, you know, deep in her heart seeking inner peace. Maybe she's a troubled soul and channeling her rage through combat is the only way she can silence the howling demons clawing at the inside of her brain. I'm going to go with that. That seems like the most likely scenario. I really would prefer you weird construct. Could you stop healing for fucking 2? Every goddamn time. 2, 2, 2. It's like fucking Tor Johnson counting back there. 2, 2, 2. And these guys undoing a lot of the nice stress relief we just achieved. That's a little problematic. This should be a kill. Yep, that's one dead wretch. So 2 to go. More vomiting. Chrysania, they're really striking up on the clear. Oh no. Chrysania has the trots. That is not what I wanted to do, but also, again, Doctor Strange healing for fucking 2. Seriously, Doctor Strange, you're running the risk of getting banished to the not going on missions anymore category. Very disappointed with your meager healing. But what we want to look at, Chrysania, yeah, see, that's awful. Minus 10 dodge, minus 10% max HP. Having the shits, well, anybody who's ever had the shits, and I can assume that's most people, it's just no fucking fun. Wow, fantastic treasure there. That's quite good. We actually needed that. Let's eat some of this. Eat up some of this food. I don't think we're going to get enough hunger prompts to necessarily need all this. We have way, way more food than we're going to need. So, Chrysania, why don't you head back to the back, and that's got our order restored, and then let's go check out this treasure room that's up here. Come on. Can we, why? Go, go, go! Alright, so we've got a trap, which for some reason we knew was there, but had no opportunity to disarm or deal with. That's a little odd. Alright, so Chrysania's stress is now back in the problem zone. She's going to have to go in for stress relief after this mission, but in order for us to afford that stress relief, we're going to have to do some exploring, because we're fucking broke. Pack contains loot, which we desperately needed. 2 more food, which we needed less, but that's okay. Burn a torch here.
The promise of safety.
Alright, so we know there's a trap here. Deckard, why don't you take care of that? There you go. So Deckard finally proven himself good for something. He's not all hunting down replicants, folks. He's also a master trap disarmer. We gotta kill this swine wretch before he gets a chance to yak on anybody. I don't want him giving anybody else the shits. That's just, that's not gonna happen. So you know what? We're gonna throw a smoke bomb at him, try and stun him. It worked, and it shuffled him to the front. That guy is boned with all the dongs. He's gonna be killed, is effectively what I'm saying. Karen Murphy is gonna chop him into chunks. Doctor Strange resisting the push, so he did something useful once in his life. That's good. Abyssal Artillery. 10 damage, that's acceptable output from Doctor Strange. Well better than he's done with any of his healing options. And there's a dead wretch who won't be puking on anybody, spreading around what I have to assume is like dysentery or perhaps cholera. This is you know, the appropriate setting for, like, say, a little bit of love in, say, the time of cholera. It seems like that might be entirely appropriate. Another kill from Murphy, who's racking him up this mission. Or stress relief for the Murph as well. And speaking of stress relief, let's go with a judgment here and see if maybe we can... I was hoping maybe we could get a critical for Cressania to get her a little bit of additional stress relief, but it's just not to be. Looks like she's going to be relying on some criticals from her compatriots if she wants any kind of good stress relief. Almost, but not quite, the Deckard story. It's actually the title of his memoirs. Almost, but not quite. Why don't you go ahead and bleed out that chopper. Back to the top of the round. Going to take a rend from the old gods, which Murphy dodged, and this guy is pretty much into mission. Wow, right in the fucking face, Doctor Strange. That's gotta hurt, buddy. That, you're not connected right on the bridge of your nose. That's gotta be a pretty damn painful wound. Why don't you get a little payback by stabbing that gentleman right in his face? I mean, turnabout's fair play, right, Doc? Goddamn right it is. Jubal? Oh, sorry. Jubal is dead. That's,
Remind yourself
yeah.
that overconfidence
That's
is
probably
the
some
soul
negative
and
foreshadowing that
insidious
Jubal
killer.
early is dead. The only thing we can get off of this table is food, or possibly stress if somebody looks at it and it terrifies them. So you know what we're going to do? We're just not even going to bother with it. We have more food than we could ever theoretically use. An empty sack. Alright then. Burn a couple torches, and we're going to stay down here and probably adventure about as long as our light holds.
And purpose is
Surprising
made
the enemy. I have to assume that these guys are going to be killed then before they really even get a chance to go. Let's just go ahead and finish the swine drummer. I don't want anybody else getting more additional stress, so we're going to do everything we can to take that guy out. Which looks like it's going to take the entire team. Some people aren't contributing up to their full potential, are they, Karen? And I mean, I address that to you, not because you're one of the people who's not living up to their full potential, but because you're the only one who is living up to your full potential, and therefore in the best position to judge the rest of the party. Yeah, you know, it seems unfair, but I'm putting the onus on you. I'm giving you that responsibility. A little facial stabbing. There you go. Doctor Strange finally starting to come around to what we would normally expect from a cultist. And as strange as it may sound, our continued fighting has provided us with a modicum of stress relief here. We'll just leave that anti-venom. We don't need it. And let's check out this room. What do we got here? Anything? Nothing. Chance to scout, though. We got another wall, which is fine. We have a shovel to deal with that. And we've got a combat up there, so let's head this direction. Just dig this out of the way. We have extract shovels anyhow. Not really a problem. Continue on. If we get hunger prompts, more than enough food, of course. Speaking of the devil. And the devil will appear. Much like a Chris Isaac song. Speak of the devil appears. And we've got some spiders who are surprised and probably will never, ever get a chance to do anything. You know, it seems somewhat oddly appropriate that there are spiders in this dungeon. I mean, this is where Wilbur lives, and if Charlotte isn't around to put some pig in the web, I'm not entirely sure who could save young Wilbur from himself. Yeah, why don't we leave everybody one hit point from dead? That's the perfect plan, guys. Really, that's ideal way to go. Don't kill anyone, just get them right to the brink of death, where they potentially fight more effectively because they're scared, and then wait for them to get their swing. So, you know, get them as dangerous as possible. Back that rat right into a corner before you start throwing rocks at it. Sometimes I wonder about the wisdom of some of our troopers here. Alright, we got a piece of jade. What could we abandon for that jade? Do we have anything that's worth less than jade? Minus dodge. Do we have anybody whose dodge is real shitty? Oh, well, Cressania's is terrible, but an accuracy stone doesn't really help her out much. I don't want to get rid of the crest, the bust, or the portraits, or the deeds. We could, you know what, let's chuck this key. We aren't going to need that. We need gold more than we need key. Actually, arguably, that jade pays for the key, and another treasure room, so we're going to continue our adventure here. Deckard, another trap for you. Couldn't avoid Rutger Hauer's ploy this time. You just jumped head first right into it, huh? Oh, well, in your defense, I mean, he is Rutger Hauer and you're you, so I suppose that stands to reason. Yeah, we'll just go right on past that cart full of dead bodies. Let's pretend we didn't see that. Crank our light level back up before we open this door. And then we're going to head over to yon treasure room here. Let's forget we saw that altar. We already encountered that once, much to Karen Murphy's chagrin. What's in here? Stashed heirlooms. Excellent. We'll take those. And then we'll continue on our merry way. Another trap. Deckard? I'm telling you, Rutger Hauer and Daryl Hannah just have Deckard outclassed at every fucking turn. He really is no match for their clever ploys. Probably should have burned a torch before we walked in this room. Definitely should have burned a torch before we walked in this room. So this fight is a potentially very serious problem. This Fusilier is going to get to... We're going to try and stun and shuffle him. That worked out perfectly. Now the Fusilier will not get a turn, and this guy can't do anything from the back row. So that worked out in an ideal fashion. And our Bloodletter friend is about to get hacked and bled. And I think we'll go with the... Yeah, Abyssal Artillery is a good use of Doctor Strange's abilities, frankly. Let's go for the Dazzling Light. These big fat bandits aren't unstunnable. They're highly stun resistant, but the possibility does exist to get them every now and then. That hurt. And staggered Karen, and added stress to everyone, of course, because one of our troopers took a critical. That's unfortunate. Karen can strike back, and she answered pretty well in kind. That guy's bleeding 6. Let's patch Karen up. I would prefer to not have her killed, if at all possible. She is one of our premier killers. Let's go for the finish him on the Fusilier. Alright, so Deckard getting a little bit of something out of him. A weird reconstruction would not go amiss here. Okay, Doctor Strange, seriously, you and I are going to sit down and have a fucking very serious discussion during your next performance review. That guy has point-blank shot twice and critical both times. Fuck me, I guess. Anyway, as I was saying, before we were so interruptedly rooted, or interruptedly rooted? Is that a thing that could happen? Before we were so rudely interrupted by some bullets connecting with a face, Dr. Strange, you and I are going to sit down and have a very serious talk about your performance review with regards to the output of your healing abilities, because I have to say, they have been remarkably substandard, sir. More heirlooms. And we have crests we can't take. I don't think we're going to go any further in the dungeon, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to eat all our food. Yes, I could just throw it on the floor and it would have effectively the same effect, but that's fine. And then let's open this up. It's an heirloom chest, so we should be okay. Fantastic. And I was prepared to just discard our torches if we needed them, but yeah, we can scout. That's fine. If we have another... it looks like an empty room. Alright, that's probably enough adventuring then. We've made a reasonable sum. Yeah, actually, you know what? We came out on this pretty well. We did okay. We probably about broke even, which is more than I would have hoped for. Of course, we do get 6,750 for killing the Swine Prince himself, a sizable bounty on a sizable pig. I suppose that makes sense. I mean, he did win Best of Show at the Missouri State Fair, and that's no mean feat. Alright, so some heirlooms, assorted goodies, that's fine. We're in a reasonable position from heirlooms. We also got portraits and crests for completing the mission as well, which is good. But mostly we're concerned about the cash, and Resolve EXP also going to be very important here. So Murphy did not pick up an ability. That's unfortunate. Deckard is a wheeled tactician. Makes sense. And Chrysania continues to rack up the unfortunate quirk. She is now anemic and also a Ruins Tactician, one of which is almost entirely useless for a unit we rarely have do damage, and the other one which makes her bleed at the drop of a hat. So clearly, earlier when we got rid of those burn those scrolls that had the potential cure for anemia, Chrysania should have maybe picked them up when we were done. I mean, I told you, Chrysania, that you should maybe gather those up for future research purposes. But oh no, you know best. You know what you're doing. And now look what happened. Now you're anemic. Could have cured that shit, but no, you wouldn't listen to me. It's fine. You made your bed, Chrysania. You lie in it. So Candy, Jade got rid of Curious. Fagin got rid of also Curious. It's good to have those two back in a lineup. We are going to sort our troopers very quickly. We also want to take a look at the stagecoach. Do we have another Seeker? We do not. A shitty Plague Doctor, some Grave Robbers, which we already have an abundance of, and Bounty Hunters, again, which we already have some abundance of. And I'm pretty sure we fired you once before. Did we not, Punt? I'm almost positive we already told you to take a hike once, man. I mean, what do you think? We're going to change our mind just because you waited a week? You think we're that desperate for personnel? I mean, our attrition rate is reasonably high, but it's not that high. Come on, man. You should at least wait, I don't know, what is it, recommended like 3 months before applying for a job again? That's it's not cool, bro. You're not increasing the chances that you get hired. You're really not. We're going to reorder our party, put some of our rank 3 troopers towards the top. Do we have a single healer that is under? No, we very much need a Vestal. Specifically, we very much need a low rank Vestal because a lot of these guys are going to be, well, kind of shoehorned and stuck where they are unless we're willing to go healerless into the dungeon, which I'm not a big fan of. I don't really like doing that. We also need to build up a nice stack of cash so we can upgrade the gear for some of our higher level troopers. Maybe have them take a swing at, say, oh, I don't know, the Necromancer, the Swine King, I think, and then the Hag. So we need to get that going too. Need to get our grubs on some, need to get our grubby little fingers on some cash. But that'll have to wait till next time, because mission complete. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comments section. Your support really does mean a lot to us. And if you'd like to see more Darkest Dungeon 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, consider subscribing as well. We'll see you again soon.